Hey y'all. Thank you for clicking on my video. If this is your first time seeing a video by me, hello, I am Lotus of the Lotusland. And if you have seen either of my other two previous videos on my channel, thank you for revisiting my channel because I haven't posted anything in 2 weeks. Well, I did attempt to post a very powerful, I thought it was a very powerful video after the 10/10 portal of October, and YouTube wouldn't let me post it. So apparently I did something wrong, at least in terms of YouTube's community guidelines. So I will not try to upload that video again, but it was a lot of energy that was going on around that time. The full moon, what was it? Was it the full moon? No, I think that was around the time of the last quarter moon. Because now we're in the new moon. It might have been full moon energy, I think. 10/10. It might have been. Anyway, I'm a very sensitive soul and spirit and body and mind and heart. Everything. So I was really wiped out by not just the energy of around that time, but then like events that occurred due to the energy of the time, and just the time of the days, these days. So anyway, I am back here posting, ready to post record another video and post for you all's viewing. And yeah, I'm excited. So this video is inspired by some recent events that have been occurring that are in relation to the new moon energy, which we're now in, new moon in Libra, and also the solar eclipse energy. I'm feeling it all. It actually feels really nice. And there's some downloads that I got that came through that I wanted to share via video with whomever is open and willing to receive the message. So the message is, simply put, stress kills and rest heals. So there's a lot that I have to say about this topic, starting with the fact that I myself have been, I would say, just about all this year, most of all of 2022, I've been really embracing the concept and the essence and the reality of rest, like for real rest. I was able to move across the country at the beginning of this year in January, shortly before my 32nd birthday. I take my birthdays very seriously. Like, birthdays have to be marked with some type of significant situation, but it most of the time it's not even conscious, but it does happen. So really, it was really a coincidence. I don't really use that word, more synchronistic, that I moved across the country shortly before my 32nd birthday, on my own, by myself, and started a whole new life for myself, a whole new lifestyle. Started unlearning particular values that had really been dominant in my life for my 32 years, up to that point. And one of those things was the concept of, just the idea of like not really resting, but grinding, hard work, going, not giving up, not wasting the days away, and I have come to learn that I really love sleep. I love sleep a lot. And I am currently in the process of like really learning how to embrace my sleep with joy. Okay, like joyfully. And I was talking to my manager at my job the other day doing like a one-on-one, and she's a new manager for me, so we were just kind of getting to know each other. It's like our first one-on-one. And she was asking me about my desired schedule that I would like to work, because where I work actually has very unique schedules, like very different from the typical Monday through Friday 40-hour work week, 8-hour a day situation. So me even moving and picking up a different type of job than I've ever worked before in terms of the schedule and in terms of the nature of the work really introduced me to this new work week of like um having more days off than on a regular than before. And yeah, just kind of it's very different. So I am now working, actually eventually I moved into a schedule that it was even more different than before, which I had were now working, or then working less days than I was off. So yeah, having more days off than I would work, still able to pay my bills and all that stuff. So, and this is totally different than me growing up in the type of work that I learned to do and the way I learned that work happens, and how work occurs is very, very different. So I really became used to this, or began to really embrace and become used to this schedule of more days off than I work, and being okay with my, just being able to afford um, my bills and all that stuff. So here I am in a new position, same place, just new position, and yet a different schedule, but similar to the one I was just working. But I am now back onto working more days than the amount of days that I have off. So I was letting my manager know, like, cause she just asked me, how do you feel about your schedule right now? I guess we have a lot of room to change and get creative, if we want to. So she's asking me that, and I said, it's cool, but I really did fall in love with my previous schedule before I got this position, which was basically working 3 days off 4 days. And so I'm letting her know that really it would be more hours on the days I would work when I'm on, but I would have more days off. And I said, gosh, man, that one day really makes a difference. And I, just kind of expounded on that and let her know, like, I have been really, for the first time ever this year, really getting introduced fully and thoroughly to this concept and essence and idea of rest for real. And that's really how I have been spending most of my off days, like really embracing that, like rest for my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit. And so and then on top of that, so that conversation, right? And I'm actually coming into realizing this as I'm speaking. I process my thoughts as I speak. That is how I best process my thoughts and my feelings, is by talking. So I guess I'm actually processing some of that as I'm talking to her, because I was even starting to wonder, like, what is it about that shift, the 3 day on and a 4 day off, even though it's more work hours in the day or whatever. And I'm, thinking to myself, like, well, it's not the people. Um, and I was even trying to figure it out myself, like the vibe of the time of the week, like what is it? I mean, I know I'm like a offbeat type of person, like I like to be in when everybody's out and out when everybody's in, awake when everybody's asleep, vice versa. So I'm like, maybe it has to do with that, because then my work days were on the weekend more so, and my off days is when everybody else is at work. So I'm sitting here trying to process with her, like, because it's not really the people. I don't know what it is. It's the vibe in the air. I'm real sensitive to energy. So, and then it clicked as I'm talking, and I'm like, rest. I'm resting. I am resting. I've been resting. That's what I mostly spend those days. Yes. And my days off. And what's crazy is that before I moved, I burnt out. That was really that was the nail, the last straw, that made me go, it's time for a radical big change of my life, for myself. There was lots of things going on, like driving me crazy. Lots of things from work, personal. It was lots, and relationship, like love and romance and all that. So I had reached burnout, but mind you, like I had been going so hard, I had to realize I had to stop while I was on vacation from my previous job, and also while talking to my therapist that I had at the time. Shout out to her because I miss her so much. Anyway, I had to really like make myself stop and realize like I had really been going hard in the field that I had been working for 13 years, which was a long time, for that type of work for myself, starting at 19, doing that type of work and really having it be something that, you know, um, my work was really enmeshed with my professional and personal were really related, because the work that I was doing was very much so because of my personal upbringing, my personal experiences. And so, I basically often carried my work with me in my head, in my heart. Like it all was one. So that 13 years, even though it was 13 years in time, probably on my body felt more like 40. I'm just saying. um, so I mean, it was a lot. So I mean, yeah, I had to realize like I reached burnout. There was a lot, like I said, that was going on in many different levels. And I had reached a very dark place in my head. A place that I had kind of almost been to multiple times in the past, just not as much as I had gotten there this last time around. And I was just really I was I needed I needed something. I needed options. I needed more options. You know, um, like I said, I had been going hard, school, work, everything very, very self sufficient, responsible, taking care of myself while working, while going to school, 2 degrees, um and escalating, going up, advancing in my career. And like I said, all that was very much related to my personal experiences, my personal trauma, like everything that I was doing in terms of work and in school. It was all one package deal. And so anyway, yes, I reached burnout. Um, I didn't realize it was burnout until I started seeing options of like, oh, I could move. I could I could live. Oh, I could go over there. I could go over there. Like I could pay less. I don't have to be paying this much. Like I can actually pause this career if I want to into this career that's more so connected to my degrees and my studies from school and college. I could pause. I could start a whole new chapter and never look back at this one. Never connect again with this field, because I mean, I kind of felt like I reached the peak of a mountain, a mountain. And it was just time to come down and maybe just chill for a bit on the mountain climbing, just chill out in the valley, you know? Um, so, so that led me across the country and away from my original home, um, my original earthly physical home, which, I do call it that now because spiritually it wasn't that for me. It wasn't my spiritual home, but it definitely got me geared up physically to um get out on my own and explore, you know. So yes, it was earlier this year that I made that move, and that was why. Um, and so I get here, and I'm just like, I, I mean, I'm just, I'm feeling the tired, but it's a good feeling, right? It's like a twilight feeling, like a high type of feeling, and I wasn't smoking, you know. I often would feel like I was just like dazed, um, and not fully grounded. I guess that's what they call it in like the therapeutic world and spiritual world, like not really grounded. Like I just felt like I was often floating. But I think back and I realized like my mind was trying to catch up to my body because man, I dashed across that country, across the country, across them state lines. But spirit just worked it out to where it was able to happen really fast once I made my mind up. I really once I made my mind up to really seek out other options, and then it was like boom, 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 boom. It did happen fast. It did. So I guess I was still spinning. I had a therapist when I got here. I found a therapist, and I was reeling, is what we said, still reeling to my new, because of just, you know, the change. So anyway, I get here and I'm really like, my body is like, it's almost like yeah, like I'm coming down off the mountain, very gently, but coming down, you know, so that yeah, like I'm resting, I'm sleeping more. I love my place that I moved into, and it's just really conducive to me needing sleep and rest when I can get it. And so, and on top of that, the job that I took up, coming from a primarily office job, lots of sitting down stuff. This job is more physical, got me moving around hours on end, really like the whole time, my whole shifts. And so I have to get my rest, like when I'm off. I have to. It's no option, you know, it's no question. So my home is, you know, I realize how conducive it is to that, and it's just everything was pointing to Lotus. It's time for you to rest. You know, it is time for you to embrace that, to really get to know that. Because the other part of why I wanted to talk about this is because, yes, like growing up, it was not embraced. Rest, you know, was not really embraced in my home. You know, stress was natural, I guess, which that's totally doesn't sound right, because stress is totally not natural, not in my perspective. But it was normal. It was normal. I'll say that. That's a much better word. Stress is not natural. It's very anti-natural, actually. Um, but stress was normal on multiple different levels. Emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. You know, stress was very normal. It was expected. It was accepted. It was sought out. You know, just again, hard work, just working hard and pushing yourself beyond your limits. And you know, kind of like how you would think you need to do in the gym, working out, lifting weights, which is funny because I have on multiple occasions taken up a program of lifting weights. And I mean, I had a CrossFit membership once, a personal trainer. um I'm naturally really strong, well, at least growing up, which is funny because now I'm not. And maybe that's, I mean, it could be multiple different reasons, but I am vegan now. I don't know, but I also don't be desiring to be very strong, but like I used to. Like I used to just want to be just so strong. Like the Hulk is my favorite superhero, you know. And I relate a lot to him, you know. At least I did relate a lot to him just growing up again. But I mean, I'm changing and I'm becoming very different. Um, and you know, a lot less um feeling the need to rely on my own physical strength. Like spirit got me for real. Like I'm just gonna plug that in there real quick. So but yeah, no, I have growing up I was more so an athlete. I played basketball, I ran, I danced. I ran for fun, like literally just on my own time. Conditioning was my favorite part of basketball. I ain't gonna lie. So, I mean, I was a great defender, but I wasn't great on offense. Um, but I did love working my body out. So yeah, even on my own time, I would run, long distance running, um, endurance running, and then yeah, I was on a dance team, and yeah, often went to the gym. So I was very, I'll say, physical and like active athlete. I mean, I guess yeah, if I was on a basketball team, but um, I say I was active. I was athletic. I don't know. Anyway, so that was something that I actually enjoyed, you know. But I had had experiences of pushing myself beyond limits and stuff, and I don't know. That was just in me to like just always just kind of like go hard or go home, you know. And I mean, at home, that was the lesson too. You know, it was home was interesting, you know. So I mean, there was a lot. I mean, there's a lot of childhood trauma that, you know, I've been healing from. But, you know, so with that is like there was a lot of strength that I had to have in order to just keep going, in order to survive, in order to, yeah, live and exist, you know, and continue in order to see, you know, light at the end of tunnels, you know, in order to believe that there is better, but you know, there are better days. That took strength. So yeah, I mean, all of that put together, and then of course, and then being a perfectionist definitely didn't help. Um, so yeah, get to 32, and I got 2 degrees, and I'm a manager at my job, and you know, I'm working in a field that I relate very personally to. Yeah, I burnt out, and going through things with family, with friends, at work, internally with myself. Yeah, burnout. So yeah, I get here and I'm learning what rest really really is about. You know, I was kind of embracing it even before. Like I would call it my nothing days, but it really wasn't like a choice. Like I would tell close friends at work, close coworkers, like from my previous job, like yeah, on Sundays I try to just have a nothing day, you know, or I try to have just at least one nothing day a week, and when I don't, I can really feel it through the week, like a nothing day, meaning I don't go nowhere. I barely do anything. Mostly I'm in my bed. I may eat, you know. I'm doing nothing because I had to learn that when I didn't get that rest. Like my weeks, I really suffered throughout the week at work, and I always took my work very seriously. I took my performance very seriously, you know. So, you know, here I am now. I'm, you know, off 3 days, off 4 days, and hoping now I'm back on the 3 day thing, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the 4 days because yes, I realize now I need my rest. So yes, that conversation was happening recently with my manager, and then also I recently so yeah, the conversation was happening with my manager. I'm realizing like yes, growing up I was not afforded rest for real, you know. And then I go through this little situation. I experienced this little thing just earlier this week, just literally a couple of days ago. Across maybe over the past last week up to a couple of days ago, where I was being stressed out, like I was being triggered, um, because of I basically was to put it short, I met this guy, and he wanted to take me on a date, and we were growing an attraction to each other, and things went sour more than once within a week, and then so all that, just fast forward up to the day, a couple of days ago, where I wake up and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this guy no more. And why I got to that point, even though I was being very understanding, probably beyond what I should have been, but I basically was, I would say very nice, kind, understanding, tolerant. Even though I was expressing my feelings and reactions and responses to things that he was doing that was upsetting me, I was still kind of hanging in there with him, just because there were many different things that made it seem like, there was great potential to this connection. And then after sleeping, resting, deeply, after the last interaction with him, which also was upsetting, I wake up. I wake up by myself. I live alone. I wake up. My head is hurting. I'm aching in my face, all here. I'm irritated and I'm tired after sleeping, resting. And so, even though in my mind, I had been like, okay, yeah, of course, he still wants to talk and stuff and wants to, I'm sorry, all these different things. So when I'm over here, like, I don't think I'm gonna deal with you. Like, I don't think this won't work. So in my mind, I'm hearing him, I'm listening to him, and still trying to process what it is I want to do. Okay, well, maybe we'll just remain in communication and talk, and I can be something like a friend or something like that, because he obviously got a lot of work to do on himself. I've done a lot of work on myself. I could probably be of help, right? That's where it was ending. That's where it had ended before I finally was able to like get this real rest and then wake up with the answers. And it was a no, because my body said so. Right? Like, that was stress. And I think that now, being almost a year since this move, I got a couple more months to go. Um, I'm so in this now, in this space of my peace, living stress free on purpose. Just really protecting myself. It's it's a zero tolerance policy, pretty much, and my body was letting me know, because I don't even get headaches like that anymore, really. I used to, growing up, I used to get headaches very often. I had to get like prescribed medication for them. When I started really learning how to take care of my body myself and eat better and all those different things, like, it's been years since I've struggled with chronic headaches, and rarely with headaches at all. So when I wake up and my head's hurting and I'm tired and I'm irritated, and I ain't been in this type of energy waking up by myself in my own bed that I love so much, in my home that is um, sacred for me. Okay, it's you. You're no longer welcome to mess with my energy like that. So I sent him a text and I blocked him. And so, and then I'm talking with a friend, and she's telling me about things that she was going through recently, and it dawned on me, like, stress kills and rest heals. So I had already come to the realization that stress kills, right? Because especially with the thing that made me really get up and go when I moved earlier this year, like I said, my dark space that I had went to, I was stressed, I was burnt out, and here I am, ready to voluntarily go, if you know what I mean. So that's an example of how stress kills. But of course, stress kills as well, because you're stressed, you don't deal with it, you don't change it. Your body just it crystallizes within your body. It turns into disease, and then the disease kills you. Whether instantly or slowly over time. And so, multiple different ways, stress kills. So, but what had not come until recently, really just yesterday, earlier today, maybe, is that rest heals. Rest heals. Stress kills, rest heals. And I'm loving that right now. Like, that realization of that, my realization of that, because it allows me to embrace more of that concept of rest and not feel ashamed about resting and sleeping. And, because I definitely use, like I said, perfectionist and just a grind, just work and grind and produce. That was me. Excel, perform, achieve. All of that was me growing up. And with that would come, even on my own time, I had to like research, like, how do successful people live, and routines. And I've never been able to like keep a routine for long at all. And I always say like, man, I feel like I'm just like allergic to routines. Like, I always have to have something switched up. Like, down to when I brush my teeth type of thing. Like, my body, my mind would not allow a routine to crystallize, like, for me. I promise. Like, that's why sometimes I struggled with tardiness going to school, because it was just like, we've been doing this enough. It is time to switch it up. Maybe it's due to me being an Aquarius. Uranus is very unpredictable, and Uranus rules Aquarius, so I'm just saying. Yeah. So I am I currently don't have a routine, as you can probably tell, because I posted my initial video, 2 parts to it, 2 weeks ago. So then it's like, where the other one? Even though I told you I tried to do the other one, but I wasn't allowed. So, but even now, I'm like, routine, it's like, it takes enough out of me to follow the routine of having to go to work when I have to get there, So, again, I'm just embracing the idea of the idea that is really dominant over my life these days, which is rest, heal, right? Rest and heal. And so I know I've been on a healing journey for years. Again, because I do have a good deal of childhood trauma. So I know I've been on a healing journey from that. What I did not realize was how much rest is a part of the methods that actually work. I didn't realize that till just now, till just recently, like till just yesterday, just really realizing, like, dang, like, I've done a lot of therapy. I've done a lot of, I've done yoga. I love yoga. I love therapy. All this stuff these are things I'm not currently doing though. A lot of what I've been currently doing though is resting, sleeping, and not just sleeping like just passing out sleeping, but like mindfully going into my sleep. So if you're interested, I want to share like this thing that I feel like I have come to learn and realize, because I do like meditation, but I also I've come to learn come to realize, at least for myself, that there is a very significant link between meditating and sleeping. Sleep can be the best form of meditation, in my experience. And this has been a few years now that I've been embracing the concept of meditation and the practice. Going from taking time out to meditate in my day to making sure that when I lay down, I'm meditating myself into sleep. And that's when I feel like I wake up truly recharged and refreshed. And so the thing I wanted to share was that I've come to see that now in my head as like charging up, plugging in, right? So my best rest and sleep comes when I have plugged in when I lay down to go to sleep, right? So um which typically does require me to unplug when it comes to the phone and all that stuff, which can be a challenge sometimes because I do be finding good things to watch on YouTube. I'm a nerd, and then sometimes it's just entertainment for sure, information. But when I remember to, like remember like okay, um, you need to actually plug in. When I say I'm plugging in, I'm plugging into source, right? Some people may use the word God. Some people, you could use the whatever you want. I'm thinking source. Because I'm actually in my mind, source is beyond God. Source is beyond all gods. Ain't beyond angels. It's source. It's where everything started, right? And I want to plug in there, like that is the highest level of power, um, uh, source of power that I can draw from. And I mean power in terms of like just charging up, just like a phone, just like any electrical device that is designed after our brains. Computers are designed after our brains. So, in these devices, you have to plug up, and so, and on top of that, we are partial electricity. So, that's the way I feel I'm plugging in, like literally, like plugging in as I go to sleep. But now, say, right, when you forget to charge your phone up at night, what happens? You wake up, it's partially charged. You're going to run out of energy before the day's up, unless you plug it in throughout the day, aka for us, get a nap or something, you know. So that's the way I see that. Like literally plugging in, just like we would plug in our phones, just like we would plug in our laptop, our computer, or if you got an electrical car, your car, or something like that. Or just like you would fill up your car that takes gas. You fill it up with gas. One thing I have definitely learned, I don't always follow this lesson and you know adhere to what I've learned from this experience, but if I am low on gas, like low, like I need to go to the gas station, and I go home, and I don't do that before I go home. I don't fill up my gas tank before I go home. I'm always um, experiencing the next morning that I have to use my car. Sometimes it's not the next morning, so I really forget I have no gas. And then I'm rushing. I got to get in the car, going to work or going to wherever. Low on gas. Shit, gotta go to the gas station, right? It always happens. And I know that other people have experiences because I've seen it on the internet. And I'm like, it's real. That's a real phenomenon. So even like that, you base like it's like you're putting your car to sleep with no gas in it. You didn't plug. It's like you didn't plug it up. You didn't fill it up, right? So, it's I just connect all of that. I'm a little geek sometimes when it comes to stuff like that, but that's how I think of it, And so, I do try to remember as much as possible to like meditate into my sleep. Which is just some mantras that a mantra that I'll repeat in my head, um, and just like have it be like a rhythm, just like any song, hypnotize myself into sleep. And that is when I get my real rest, but like, I'll be honest, like falling asleep to like watching, I don't own a TV, but I do own a phone. So YouTube or videos or something like that. Like most of the time I'm waking up in the middle of the night to either pick up on where I left off or whatever I was watching, or to turn the shit off because it's annoying me and it's like audio and I need silence. So anyway, and so obviously that would disturb my rest, my sleep. That wakes me up. So, yeah, I don't want this video to be that long. I did just want to share this thing that's important to me about rest and my realizations of stress, and how also like I realized like I am prone to stress. Like I am prone to stressing out, my body getting sick if I'm stressed, mood changing if I'm stressed, appetite changing, skin change. Like I don't have a large, probably not a large, medium even size grace period for stress at these days. And I think it's because I have gone so hard my first 32 years of life, by choice and not by choice, voluntarily and involuntarily. Gone so hard, so my body's like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We have a purpose on this earth, and you need to be here for it. So we're gonna slow this all the way down, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, you're gonna embrace not being always so physically strong. And I'm not, y'all. I used to be real strong. And even these days, I think sometimes my strength still comes through. Like I still carry a lot of muscle. But sometimes I do realize, like, when I like get to like doing a lot, like lifting and all of that, what I'm used to doing, my back will let me know, no, stop. I mean, granted, I am about to be 33, so I mean, it ain't old. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's about to be a 33-year-old back. It's fine. Which is cool because 33 vertebrae. So I actually think there's some real spiritual significance to my 33rd birthday coming up. But anyway, yes, my back will let me know. Slow it down. What do you put it down? Sit down. So it's really cool though. I'm loving it because I feel light, or lighter. I could feel lighter, even lighter. But yeah, I feel light and just at ease and all that, just more often than I ever have before. And so I love that about myself. And so I just want to share that, because I do recognize when other people are stressing, and I speak on it now when I'm with people, if I see it, or, and they're telling me what they're going through, that's what comes to mind, like stress. And I tell them, like, I live stress-free on purpose. So that can't bother me. I can't let that bother me. I can't go there with you about that issue, because that issue don't mean nothing to me. It's not affecting my life at all, and I will not let it. I can't go there with you. I'm sorry, not sorry. I gotta be cool, because me and stress do not go together. And I have to protect my mind because I know where it can go. I know where my mind can go. So with all that said, y'all, I just want to close up this video with a quick message from Spirit, utilizing my Rumi's gift oracle cards. I just want to, Spirit is involved in everything that I do, because I am of Spirit. I am from Spirit. I love Spirit. And when I say Spirit, I do mean that of source, that of purity, that of, love. Okay. So if you take that as being God, that's what's up. If it's synonymous with God to you, that's what's up. I just prefer particular terminology these days because of, again, me growing up, what God meant to me, what I was taught about God growing up, and then what I've come to learn about spiritual authority in my life, versus what I learned growing up. So anyway, however it resonates with you, my terminology that fits best with my spirit, and my mental, is typically spirit, and then that being related directly to source. Sometimes I use cosmos, universe, but spirit definitely embodies all of that for me. Spirit for me is like the presence of source in my life, the presence of the energy of source in my life. So, however that is showing up for me, whether it's ancestors, whether it's angels, whether it's source itself, whatever, I just know it all as spirit. So spirit's always with me. Spirit is also the energy of pure love for me. So spirit's always with me. So let's just see what spirit has to say about what I'm sharing via this video, because I feel I was definitely inspired by spirit to share, because I be having to be in the energy to get on camera and to really give of myself in this way. I have to have the energy for it. I don't always have the energy for it. And so the fact that I was feeling like I had the energy for it, to me, that was spirit saying go, go ahead. So I feel like spirit has something to say in addition to everything that I've shared. And I was willing to pick up my Rumi's Gift Oracle deck, and this is the only one. The only deck. So, the only deck I'm using for this video right now. It will close me out. Oh, 2 cards fail, but I don't want to take that as those are the messages. Oh, more than 2 fail. Oh, yeah. I will go again. Okay, 1 card. Nope, that's 2. 1 card. Stress kills. Rest heals. I love that. I should get that as a tattoo. I'm always thinking I should get something as a tattoo. I got 2 tattoos. It has been years since I got my last one. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 2 cards fell, but 1 fell up. I love it. I love it because this relates to my life right now in many ways. Quest. You see the lantern? Oh man, it's so cool. Because I look at the picture and I'm thinking shaman, which if you saw my last video I posted, or one of the last 2 I posted, which were part 1 and 2 of one video, I I pulled a card that, or spirit gave me a card that was identifying me as a shaman, like my purpose, like as being a shaman. And I've been really embracing that during this new moon time and this new moon energy and stuff. So let me read the it looks, yeah, I just see a shaman. I see the lantern, and I love it. And I've been saying, like, I'm on a quest. Like, I have another card that came out from another deck a couple weeks ago. It said Vision Quest on it. So I love spirit in my cards. So quest. Yeah, these are not in alphabetical order. No numbers either. Maybe they're in a different kind of order. I just saw death is the last one in the book. Maybe this would be towards the beginning. Yep. Okay. Yeah, old man, which usually shamans are depicted as old men. So it says, I'll hold it up because it refers to the picture. It says, the old man with his lamp searched and searched. I am tired of these weak fellow travelers. I am searching for the Lion of God and Rostam the Brave. This crowd is only occupied with petty complaints. I am looking for the wailing of the heartsick lovers. Ooh, I like that. They said, we have already searched. It cannot be found. He bellowed, that which cannot be found, that is what I'm looking for. Ooh. I am weary of monsters and demons. I am searching for a true human. Ooh. This is roomy, y'all. Like, show me your face. I am searching for the garden of paradise. Whisper in my ear, for your sweet words are the remedy for all the world's bitterness. So there was an asterisk next to this name Rostam, which I've never heard. Rostam the Brave. Rostam is the epic hero of Shahnameh, the Book of Kings. He is the son of Zal and Rutabe and possesses a Hercules-like courage and strength. It says, when Rumi's beloved Shams entered Rumi's life, he brought with him a whirlwind of scandal, judgment, and instability. Rumi was no longer the loving husband and father, nor the Malana master who had attracted disciples from far and wide. He had become a blasphemous poet and was on dangerous grounds of heresy. Many former disciples, acquaintances, and even his youngest son fiercely opposed Shams and his influence on Rumi. They thought by eliminating Shams, they could have their beloved Malana back. Although the disappearance of Shams remains a mystery, he was most likely conspired against and killed by those who opposed him. When Shams disappeared, Rumi's heart broke into 1,000 pieces. He led a search party and even asked his eldest son to search for Shams everywhere. He went all the way to Tabriz, Baghdad, and Damascus. Having learned from Shams that all states are sacred, even this arduous quest became the beloved and nothing was lost. He gave himself fully to that quest, not knowing whether he would achieve closure. This poem reminds us that not only can we welcome undesirable and unsettling states, but we can embrace them in such a way that our bellows are heard through the ages. The words of this Rumi poem outline an old man searching with a lamp. He is weary, but since he knows the search itself is the beloved, he perseveres. The words on his garment read, the old man with his lamp searched. Oh my gosh. Always, Rumi gives me chills. Always. If you liked this and you like maybe a directive, it has a directive. It says poem in action. Sit in a comfortable spot, close your eyes, relax your breathing. When feeling relaxed, ask yourself, what is the most undesirable state for me? What thought or feeling am I most prone to reject or run away from? Stress. Is it jealousy, boredom, judgment? Invite the feeling and hold it like a delicate bubble. Feel the state without attempting to change it. Feel your own resistance to the state. Breathe. Hold your resistance like you would a baby. Thank it for trying to protect you from harm. If resistance dissolves, hold the unwanted feeling in the same loving embrace. If resistance doesn't dissolve, keep embracing it. Continue for 20 minutes or longer. Repeat at least once a week for 3 weeks. Wow. All states are sacred. All states are sacred. I love that. I do. It kind of reminds me of how I was being with myself when I was experiencing getting ready and then being on that date that did not go well. I don't want to say too much more because this video is at an hour. I wasn't planning for it to be this long, but I do hope that you received something beneficial from my words shared, from spirit, from Rumi. I love Rumi. And you know, I mean, I've gone on a quest. I am on a quest. You know that we have many quests that we can take in life. You know, and I'm on a quest of continuing to embrace rest and healing, and rest as a part of healing, and rest as a way to healing. And you know, I just hope that, you know, if you're on a quest or looking for a quest, that maybe somehow this video was able to help you either get receive more sight, more revelation of what that quest is, or helped you move forward even just a little bit on the quest that you might already be on. So I thank you for listening and for clicking on my video and visiting the Lotusland with me, Lotus. And I do look forward to the next wave of inspiration that will allow me to bring a message from spirit to share with anybody who is brought to meet me on my channel, the Lotusland. So thanks for visiting, and until I meet you here again, bye.